think the whole Ikigai concept can be kind of misleading. And not to say it's like bad advice to follow your passion, but I just feel like there's a difference between building something that works and is really needed in the world versus doing something you love, but you can't really monetize it, like, and I know, you're supposed to find your little, that's your Ikigai between all those, but also it's kind of under the assumption that your passion, whatever your passion is, like there's a place for that in the world and solves a big enough problem that will get you money. And not to say like money is the only thing that matters, but you can definitely think a lot differently when you're not in survival mode. Like, I feel like everyone can agree with that. And then also with Ikigai, I feel like, you're going through the book and stuff, but I feel like we end up just focusing on the part of passion. And it's like, okay, if I just follow my passion, everything else will line up. And I think that's where we really mess up. This is something I've just been thinking about a lot. And I came across this other perspective, which is just, what are your innate abilities? Like, these are just abilities of just how your brain is wired naturally, and figuring out what is that. Like, what are you just naturally good at? And you just can't explain why. It's not exactly learned. It can be, or certain skills and stuff you learn over time can like sharpen that a bit more if you're intentional about doing it, or even without realizing it, like you can do that. And I've noticed that for myself in the last year. Like, I didn't realize I was sharpening these like abilities until like people started pointing it out to me. Okay, and now this probably like sounds crazy, but let me give an example. So I went to school for electrical engineering, got my degree, got into corporate, and I ended up in a role that was literally in systems and operations, which is weird because it's like my brain has honestly always operated like that. Like, I'm the friend you call for the straight up truth, like blunt as hell, like detached, all emotion. It was just like, look, here's your problem. Let's logically run through everything. Here's the system. Here's your solutions. Like, what's the big deal? Like, my brain has just always been like that, very systematic, like very organized and structured. I can turn all this chaos into something scalable, like some system that can be scalable and repeatable. That's just so easy for me. So my innate ability is just basically problem solving. Like, I'm just really good at taking in a lot of just chaos, like scattered shit, and then I can start like breaking it down, and I put it down and I'm like, all right, cool. Here's what we got. Let's sort this through. Let's come up with some solutions. Once we've got that into place, here's a system. Let's scale it. Let's make it repeatable, and let's make it efficient as fuck. That's just my shit. I love it. I love that. I don't know why, but that's just how I am. And it was confusing because then I'm like, but my passion is like animals. So what? Like, what the fuck? And then I leave corporate because it was like, I wasn't fulfilled. Like, yes, I was in a systems and ops role, but I wasn't fulfilled. And I was like, well, I'm going to get into pet industry because that's my passion. And then I get into it, and then I'm like, I don't know, something is still fucking missing. I don't know what it is. So anyway, fast forward to now, and I just realized like this little intersection that I guess I've been looking for is actually this combination of systems and ops, but for pet industry. And here I am now, like building stuff, creating things in pet industry. So it was like, I finally found this really cool intersection of innate ability and this Ikigai, or whatever the hell you want to call it. But like, that's my shit. And it's like, fuck, I finally found this. So why am I even sharing this? Because I hope that this helps someone else who's like struggling with this, because we always think like, oh, your passion's this, you should just go monetize that. But not all your passions should be monetized. Like, sometimes monetizing it might completely take out all that fire and passion and drive you have for that. Like, especially for very creative fields, and you're asked to like repeat that. Like, it's, dude, my cat is fucking annoying me. I don't know if you hear them meowing. Anyway, so I don't know at that point, like, if it's something you just do when you're inspired, you're in the mood, you're whatever. But the thing is, like, if you're trying to monetize that, you have to put systems behind it. You have to make it repeatable, scalable, and like do it repeatedly, and that might suck out all the fun that you might have with it. Now you're probably like, but how do I find mine? Think about stuff that you just naturally do and just naturally do very well. Ask people around you, like friends, family, or even people who have just met you, especially them, because they haven't gotten to know you too well. So they can easily spot out some things without being like too biased either. And just see like, okay, what are things that you naturally do really well without even trying very hard? And like other people are like, damn, how do you do that? Like, that's so difficult for me. That might be your thing. And just keep track of it. And then think about it a little bit further. It's like, this could be so easy for you. Your brain just naturally sees things in a different way. And that could be breaking to someone else. So think about those things, because that might be your thing to like turn into, I don't know, business, monetize, whatever.